Students, are you hearing my voice? Okay. As usual, the syllabus of social and economic history of modern India. In the third module, about the female social reformers, we are completed a general introduction about Ramabai, Pandita Ramabai in our last class. And another important female social reformer who also called as the first lady teacher in India, who started various schools for girls and who contributed her life to emancipate the women and the backward classes, and the wife of a prominent reformer, Jyotiba Phule, nothing but the Savitribai Phule. Okay, today we are going to see about Savitribai Phule, her contributions towards the uplift of women in India. So first of all, share my screen, then I will give you the details about the Savitribai Phule. In the and economical, the social and educational history of India, Mahatma Jyotiba Phule and his wife Savitribai Phule stand out as extraordinary couple. They were engaged in passionate struggle to build a movement for equality between men and women and for social justice. Recognizing that knowledge is power and the progress of women and the Dalit Bahujans was impossible without it. They dedicated their entire life to the spreading the education. By establishing the Satyasodak Samaj, they initiated the practice of the Satyasodak marriage, a marriage without dowry or a wedding at a minimum cost. By throwing open the well in his house for untouchables, Jyotirao Phule directly initiated a program to oppose the caste system. Both the Jyoti Phule and Savitribai did uh, 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 did not just sorry they organized certain widow remarriages, and they also followed certain reforms to uplift the women basically. When you see about the Savitribai Phule, basically, Savitribai Phule was a prominent Indian social reformer, educationist, and poet who played an instrumental role in women education and empowerment during the 19th century. Counted among a few literate women of these times, Savitribai Phule is credited for founding the first girls' schools in Pune, in Baidwada, with her husband Jyotiba Phule. She took great effort towards educating and emancipating child widows, campaigning against child marriages and sati pratha, and advocated for widow remarriages. A leading figure of Maharashtra's social reform movement, she is considered as icon of Dalit Mang caste along with likes of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and Anna Bhau Sate. She campaigned against untouchability and worked actively in abolishing caste and gender based discrimination. Okay, so Savitribai was born January 3rd, 1831, in Nayagam, of place, the location of Nayagam in the Satara district in the Maratha region, and in a farming family to Kandoji and Nevasi Patil and Lakshmi as their as eldest daughter. Girls in those days were married off early, so following the prevalent customs, the 9-year-old Savitribai was married to 12 years old Jyotiba Phule in 1840. Jyotiba Phule went on became a thinker, writer, social activist, and anti-caste social reform. He is counted among the leading figures of Maharashtra's social reform movement. Savitrbai's education started after her marriage. It was her husband who taught her to read and write after she saw her eagerness to learn and educate herself. She learned third and fourth year examination from normal school and became passionate about teaching. She took training at Mrs. Ferrar's institution in Ahmednagar. Jyotiba Phule stood firmly by the side of Savitribai in all our social endeavors. When you see the role of women, education and empowerment uh, by the Savitribai Phule contribution, the first indigenously run school for girls in Pune was started by Jyotiba Phule and Savitribai in 1848, when the latter was still in her teens. Although they were ostracized by both family and community for this step, the resolute couple was given shelter by a friend Usman Sheikh and his sister Fatima Sheikh, who also gave the Phule couple a place in their premises to start the school. Saitrubai became the first teacher of the school. Jyotirao and Savitribai later started schools for children from the Bang and Mahar caste, who were regarded as the untouchables. Three Pule schools were in operation in 1852. On November 16th, in the same year, the British government honored the Pule family for their contribution in the field of education, while Savitribai was named as the best teacher. In the same year, she also started the Mahila Seva Mandal with the objective of creating awareness among the women regarding their rights, dignity, and other social issues. She was successful in organizing a barber strike in Mumbai and Pune to oppose the prevailing custom of shaving heads of the widows. All the three schools run by the Pules were closed by 1858. There were many reasons for this, including drying up a private European donations post Indian Rebellion of 1857 and resignation of Jyotirao Phule from the school management committee due to different opinion on curriculum and withdrawal of support from the government. Under certain circumstances, Jyotiba Phule and Savitribai, along with Fatima Sheikh, took charge of educating people from the oppressed communities as well. Other over the years, Savitribai opened 18 schools and taught children from different castes. Savitribai and Fatima Sheikh began teaching women as well as other people from the downtrodden caste. This was not taken well by many, particular the upper caste of Pune, who were against the Dalits education. Saitrubai and Fatima Sheikh were threatened by the locals and were also harassed, humiliated socially. Cow dung, mud, and stones were thrown at Savitribai when she walked towards the school. However, much atrocities could not discourage the determined Savitribai from her goal, and she would carry two saris. Savitribai and Fatima Sheikh were later joined by the Shoguna Bai, who also eventually became a leader in the education movement. Meanwhile, a night school was also opened by Pule couple in 1855 for agriculturists and laborers so that they can work in daytime and attend school at night. To check the school dropout rate, Savitribai Phule started the practice of giving stipends to children for attending the school. She remained an inspiration for the young girls she taught. She encouraged them to take up activities like writing and painting. One of the essays written by a student of Savitribai Phule called Mukta Salve became the face of Dalit feminism and literature during this period. She conducted parent teacher meetings at regular intervals to create awareness among the parents on the significance of education so that they send their children to school regularly. In 1863, Jyotirao and Savitribai also started a care center called Balahatya Pratibandhak Griha, possibly the first ever infanticide prohibition home founded in India. It was set up so that pregnant Brahmin widows and rape victims can be delivered their children in a safe and secure place, thus preventing the killing of widows as well as reducing the rate of infanticide. In 1874, Jyotirao and Savitribai Phule, who were otherwise issueless, went on to, while Jyotiba Phule advocated widow remarriage, Savitribai worked tirelessly against social evils like child marriages and satiprata, two of the most sensitive social issues that were gradually weakening the very existence of women. She also made effort in bringing the child widows into mainstream by educating and empowering them and advocated for their remarriage. Such pursuits also met with strong resistance from the conservative upper caste society. When we see her endeavors, she worked in tandem with her husband in the latest efforts in eradicating the custom of untouchability and the caste system, guaranteeing equal rights for the people of lower caste, and reform of the Hindu family life. The couple opened a well in their house for untouchables during an era when the shadow of untouchable was regarded as impure and people were reluctant to even offer water to the thirsty untouchables. She also associated with a social reform society called Satyasodak Samaj, founded by Jyotirao on 24th September 1873 in Pune. The objective of the Samaj, which included Muslims, non-Brahmin, Brahmanas, and government officials as members, was to free women, Shudra, Dalit, and other less privileged ones from getting oppressed and exploited. The couple arranged minimum caste marriages in the Samaj for any Samaj without any priest or any dowry. Both brides and grooms took pledge in such marriages that amounted to their wedding vows. Savitribai worked as head of its women's section, and following the demise of her husband on 28th November 1890, she became the chairperson of the Samaj. Savitribai carried forward the work of her husband through the Samaj, leading it till her last breath. She and her husband worked doubtlessly during the femmes, which is started in 1876. They not only distributed free food in different areas, but also launched 52 free food hostels in Maharashtra. Savitribai also persuaded the British government to initiate a relief work during the 1897 drought. The educationist and social activist also raised her voice against caste and gender discrimination. Kavya Phule and Bhavan Kasi Subodh Ratnakar are compilation books of her poems also. When you see at the last days of Savitribai Phule, her adopted son Yashwantrao served the people of his area as a doctor. When the worldwide third pandemic of bubonic plague badly affected the area around Nalasapora, which is Maharashtra in 1897, the courageous Savitribai and Yashwantrao opened a clinic at outskirts of Pune to treat the patients infected by the disease. She brought the patient to the clinic where her son treated them while she took care of them. So in course of time, she contracted her disease while serving the patients and succumbed to it on March 10th, 1897. Okay, so these are her last days, and she was a, a important woman who made her entire life contributed towards the upliftment of women basically, and also along with her husband, she also followed many social welfare measures towards the Dalits and the downtrodden people in Maharashtra. Okay, so these are certain contribution of Savitribai Phule, who done a great work to uplift the downtrodden and particularly women from these sections. Okay, so these are various things about Savitribai Phule, and we'll go with another female social reformer who done their work to uplift of women. Okay, so this is end of my class. Are you hearing, Naveen? Naveen Kumar, వినిపిస్తుందా? Are you hearing my voice?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, right. So this is end of my class today, and I will meet you tomorrow at the same time with another female social reformer who contributed their life to uplift the woman. Okay, so thank you very much. I am ending
Okay,
my
sir.
my class now, right? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, right, ending my class now.